today at my friend Katie's house, and we've invited guest chef Sherry from the Watering Mouth to come over and mix up some cocktails and put a great appetizer in the oven. It's going to be fun. Come along with us.
First thing we're gonna do for this delicious asparagus tart is we're gonna chop up the asparagus to size, okay? There's two ways you can chop asparagus. You can either just chop it with a knife, or you can use the fancy way and find out where the freshness is in the asparagus by popping it. That's where the freshness starts. So this is the stuff you don't want.
I love asparagus.
So all we're just gonna do in this case is cut off 2 inches, then our asparagus will be ready to go. So now is the fun part, the puff pastry dough. Okay. So you can go ahead and flour just a little bit of a dusting in this area, because this is where we're gonna work with the puff pastry. Okay. Puff pastry has a ton of butter in it, so you wanna work quickly. Otherwise you'll start to melt the butter, and you'll have less rising and deliciousness.
When you're gonna work with flour, maybe you don't wear black.
What do you mean?
Just FYI.
So we need this to be a little bit bigger, and you can kind of use your asparagus spears to measure. So we want to have, actually this is a pretty good size. We want it to be a little thinner. So we're just gonna put a little bit of flour on top and roll it just a couple of times to expand it a bit. The other thing to keep in mind is you don't want to introduce too much flour to the dough because it will dry it out.
Yeah.
So, yep, hope it doesn't stick too much. That's why the flour is really important. All right, we are good.
Hold on, it's not perfect.
So now what we want to do is put the puff pastry onto our baking sheet with the parchment paper over it. But if it had just been one of us, it'd be really easy to just fold it like a piece of paper, like it was, and put it back down and then fold it back out. It'll reduce the stretching, basically.
So if you're gonna make this, invite a friend over, and then both of you carry it over gently.
Just for that moment.
Just then, and then tell them to go.
So what we want to do is have the sides of the puff pastry puff up and have the asparagus be sort of sitting on a bed of the puff pastry. So in order to do that, we're just gonna score a rectangle all around the puff pastry right in the middle.
So scoring means not go all the way through.
This is pretty much all the way through. This is gonna be fine. Okay. You don't have to worry about going all the way through. And then in order to get this part to not puff up, we're just gonna add some holes in it. The knife will be just fine.
This is a great stress reliever. He's almost dead.
Who's he, Asunta?
I don't know. I don't know,
but he's dead. So we're gonna bake this first for about 15 minutes at 400, so it will start to rise. It's puffed up super nicely, and we're ready to assemble it. So the next step is to take a bunch of cheese.
Yum.
Tons of cheese.
Right.
You can either use Gruyere, we're using Fontina here, just shredded. Okay. Just take a bunch of that and put it on the inside rectangle. And it looks like a lot, but
no, I don't think it's ever a lot of cheese, right? I mean, isn't it? Yum.
So now we're gonna take our asparagus and put it over top of this. So take half of it at one time and put it in one direction, spread it out. And then we're gonna take the other half and just flip it in the other direction so all your guests will get both sides of the asparagus instead of just one.
If you're not used to being in the kitchen, don't worry about it. You can't do it wrong. It's fine.
Everyone will love it anyways.
Fun. Yeah.
Now we're gonna take some salt and pepper over the asparagus and some salt.
Here we go. These are so cute.
They are cute. I love those little things.
Gadgets. Like, do these go in the garage in the tool shop, or do they go in the kitchen?
So now that that's all ready, we're just gonna brush the outside of the puff pastry with some olive oil so it's nice and shiny.
That olive oil is so beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Isn't it pretty?
Gorgeous. This is gonna go back into the oven for 15 to 25 minutes, depending. Let me give you the pink guy here, until the asparagus is cooked. That's it. Yum.
We've got 15 minutes to kill.
Yeah.
Any ideas?
Oh, I have an idea. Cocktails?
Cocktails.
Is that a good idea?
Cocktail?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
The eggnog cuts the taste of the whiskey, so you barely even know you're drinking alcohol, which makes it also dangerous too. So you're gonna pour the 2 into a glass and use a stir stick to incorporate it. Hand this off to your uncle or your aunt, and everyone will be happy.
Ooh, smells delicious.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Very good. Good.
This looks like a pool, like a swimming pool,
Yeah.
full of cheese and asparagus are lounging in it.
Yes. Aw, they're on vacation.
They're on vacation. Look how pretty.
Yum.
That's beautiful.
Can we eat this now?
We need to eat that. Yes. I love the green. It's so pretty. But like Sherry said earlier, put any vegetables you want on it. Make it your own. Any kind of cheese.
Yep.
And you could probably put sauce on it, right? I mean, if you wanted to, you could do that,
so
right?
many different things,
Yeah.
different herbs, different vegetables. You can different kinds of cheeses, anything. Yeah, just make it your own. All the stuff that you like, make it your own tart. Cheers.
Pretend you don't eat anything, and then when they leave, finish it off. Cut.